How you doing? Just back with another review. So today I'm reviewing what I guess would be considered like a daily driver pre-workout, which typically ends up being my favorite because the reality is those are the ones you can use the most. Those are the ones with the least side effects as well. Now I haven't actually checked, so I got the label up now, but I didn't want to check because I always prefer to try them when it comes to the daily drivers without knowing what the label is because sometimes the label looks good and it sucks. Sometimes it sucks because it's just an awful brand and it's underdosed, and then sometimes it's awesome and the label is exactly what you thought it would be, or it's a surprising one. Today we've got an Australian brand that I'm reviewing, and I've only taken it once, which was just then before. It's by a company called Genetix. I've tried their protein powder and it was pretty good, really clean label. It's called genetix stim FX, I believe, looking at the writing. And as usual, I'll go through the flavor first. So the flavor for this one is energy as in like energy drink, Red Bull. And if I'm being honest with you, this is probably one of the best tasting pre-workouts I've ever had. I'd say it's second only to ABE, the cherry cola flavor. Like that is just out of this world. This is legitimately good enough to an extent where you could tell me this was an energy drink while you're tasting it, especially if you put it with some carbonated type of water. You would actually think that's an energy drink. It does taste that good. That aside, let's look at the label. So I've popped it up here. So actually, I guess I'm figuring out for the first time what it's got in it. So, you got 6 grams of citrulline malate, helps with pumps, all that lovely jazz. You got 4 grams of beta. I'll tell you why that makes sense. 1 gram of taurine, 1 gram of agmatine sulfate. That also explains some of the pumps I was getting in my legs today. Vitamin C, specifically put in the actual label, 250 milligrams. Interesting, haven't seen that too often. Only 250 milligrams of caffeine. Thought it would have been higher because it felt like it was higher. I don't actually know what this ingredient is, just being blatantly honest with you. It's Pisoralia corylifia extractant 150 milligrams. If anyone knows what that is, feel free to tell me. You got green tea extract at 98%, 50 milligrams. You got ginkgo biloba extract, which is an ingredient I like to see. I tend to feel like a feel-good effect from it. And then you got isopropylenosinephrine at 30 milligrams, gives that kind of fat burning element to it. And then niacinamide, which I'm just going to assume is something to do with niacin. So once again, the itchy tingly. Okay, that's the label out the way. It's nothing too crazy. Pretty good, like label in general. Quite nicely dosed. It does not shock me that it's a 4 gram beta and that it's got some niacin in it by the look of it, because this is probably the best. If you love the beta tingles, I've never ever felt more beta tingles than this, ever. And I'm usually the one, if you've seen any of my previous videos, I'm the type that if I get 2 grams of beta, it tends to work better than more. But I don't know what it is about these Australian brands. It seems like wherever they're getting their beta from, it slaps your cock so fucking hard. Like, I took it 20 minutes before working out. I didn't even take it on an empty stomach. I took it with a banana and a protein shake I had before and went to work out, and I was fucking itchy everywhere. Like, this shit was face, back, arms, shoulders especially. So you really, really felt that. The reason I was surprised at the caffeine only being 250 milligrams is after having it, it felt like this was a 350 to 400 milligram caffeine type of pre-workout. When looking at this label, to me, it just seems like whatever this company did to source their ingredients, they got it from a really, 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 really good fucking place, because everything hit harder to me, except I guess beta because it's at 4 plus niacin. Everything hit harder than what I'm looking at. The pumps were good. But it's harder, like I did quad day today, so it's harder to notice the pumps in your quads when you're wearing, pants or shorts than it is to see the obvious, if you've got an arm pump or you've got a shoulder pump. and you're wearing a singlet. You can feel it easier, you can see it easier. But it did feel as if the contractions were really, really nice and deep. I could definitely, I figured there would have been some type of centiferin type of ingredient in there because I could feel it. My body felt quite warm. And I did feel good. I felt quite happy to work out today. Even though, if I'm being honest with you, I didn't want to review it after today because I didn't feel too good for today's workout. I felt flat, lethargic. I knew it was one of those days where, you know, when you slap on the 20s each side, you're about to do some type of workout and everything just feels heavier than it is. But this really did push me through it. Whereas I've had daily drivers before where it just doesn't push me through that workout. This one really did it, and it did it quite well. So, I mean, overall, it seems to be a freaking spot on pre-workout. Now, I don't know how many servings you get from this. Okay, so that's good. It's a serving sizes. It's once, because I don't know what the tub looks like. Okay, it's quite a bit. Yeah, you got 15 grams for one scoop, and you got 30. So it's a proper one scoop. And trust me, you really don't need any more. There is absolutely no reason. For one, I couldn't imagine doing like a scoop and a half of that hard hitting beta. I think it would just be too much. You don't need more caffeine for whatever reason. Maybe it's the fact that it's got other elements in there that just tie it in together so well. But yeah, look, overall, this is my first genetics supplement I've had where it's not a protein base. I think I had their lean whey, tastes okay. Really good profile though, like really, really good. And it's really affordable. Like if you're in Australia, Nutrition Warehouse, I was lucky enough, one of the gentlemen there gave me a couple of free servings. $70 Australian is actually very, very fair. And they often do bigger sales. So I mean, like when I look at all the other pre-workouts I've had, like Hooligan cost me, I believe it was $89. Assassin was $89, and it, you know, took a while to get. A lot of these products cost upwards of $100. Crack was $100 for me. What was that? Dark Energy was $100. So a few of these, you know, top pre-workouts are quite expensive. This one, I think you're getting a really good bang for your buck, and I think the fact that the flavor is just, I haven't tried pineapple or strawberry lime, but boy, oh boy, if they're anywhere near the level of this fucking energy flavor, it's, you know, it's about as good as it gets. Like, I don't necessarily care about flavor when it's a stim junkie type of experience pre-workout. The reason I don't is because I understand that they're having to mask probably a lot of these nasty ingredients. Specifically like Lion's Mane Alpha GPC, they tend to not taste too good. But when you have a daily driver, you almost don't have a way of saying, oh, look, like, it tastes like shit, but it's good. It should taste relatively decent. There's a lot of companies that do decent tasting pre-workouts. So if you're not up to that scratch, probably need to work on it. Who would I recommend this for? I think I honestly put this up there with Hooligan. It's not as much of a nootropic as Hooligan is, because obviously Hooligan has the Lion's Mane Alpha GPC and it's got it like clinical dosages. I mean, that shit is just out of this world. But this, for like a first time pre-workout experience, or even a daily driver for people like myself and many others that, you know, will use the Excelsiors, the Dark Energies, the pre-phase KOs, etc. This is a daily driver, is fantastic. Wouldn't do more than a scoop. And if you're brand new, honestly, 3/4 scoop would be just enough for you. Even that might be pushing it, because that beta will just slap you in the dick that hard. And if you're not used to it, and I'm used to beta, might not be worth it. All right, hope everyone's having a great day. Take care.